I'm Dave McHugh for D3Hoops.com and Hoopsville. I'm joined by Mike Maker, head coach from Williams. And Coach, I think you've been down this road before. You are returning to Salem, this time for the championship weekend for the third time in 5 years after a commanding performance, not only against Mary Washington, but the whole weekend here in Fredericksburg.
Well, thanks, Dave. It was an incredible performance by our kids, and I'm not sure we've played much better than we played today, other than in 2010 against the Guilford team in Salem. And we shared the ball, and I thought our defense, especially in the 2-3 zone, was effective all night long.
Let's go back a little bit to the Albertus Magnus game, a game you guys scored 110 points, only had a handful of shots from outside. You guys had made a field day of backdoor cuts and cutting into the lane, and then you made a field day at the free throw line. What was the game plan going into that one?
Well, I think Albertus, they're so athletic and quick and tough-minded that they really challenge us from the three-point arc, and when teams do that, you got to take what they give us. And we drove the ball, and we were fortunate enough to get to the free throw line enough to give us the advantages we needed.
Did you expect to have such a big lead for most of that game and to be able to put up 110 points on the Falcons?
No, we have great respect for them, and I think they're one of the premier teams, certainly in our region, and have made a splash nationally. And they're very talented and very good team.
Of course, then you had to take on either Virginia Wesleyan or Mary Washington, and I kind of made the observation that it must have been tough for either of you guys to scout for either of those two teams going into that. Did you guys be able to take anything from that game on Friday night to prepare you against Mary Washington?
Well, we were more familiar with Virginia Wesleyan because we've had to play them 2 times out of the last 3 or 4 years in order to get to Salem. Not that we wanted to play them either, but it was a difficult prep on a back-to-back because their style is unique. They take you off the bounce. They shoot the three very, very well. We didn't plan to play zone for as long as we played it. We went to it because we had Daniel Wool with 3 fouls, and it just looked to slow them down a little bit, and we just stayed with it the rest of the game. So, I thought the game got away from them a little bit, but they've had a great year. I mean, unbelievable crowd and venue, and I thought we were fortunate to get a lead, and we played freely and comfortable, and got the shots we wanted, and I thought our length in the zone was the difference in the game.
You guys certainly liked this gym. You shot extremely well. 71% at one point in the first half against Albertus Magnus, something like over 50% for the game for both games. Was it just that you guys are that comfortable? If you just heated up to that point, what do we make of the shooting?
Well, we hang our hat on the offensive end, Dave. We're a really good passing and shooting team. And I think we're more athletic than meets the eye vertically. We're not exceptionally quick, but we have balanced scoring. We have a lot of weapons. Our challenges have been on the defensive end this year, and certainly on the glass and then guarding people off the bounce. And I thought today we did as good a job as we've done all year.
We'll talk about the defense in a second, but you talk about what you guys did on offense. I found it interesting. You guys were willing to go up tempo with Albertus Magnus, push yourselves down the court, get them back on your heels. Saw that a little bit against Mary Washington as well. Has that been something you've been comfortable doing, or is that something you guys had to do maybe because you saw the matchups?
No, that's our style. We love an up-tempo game, and I think the higher the score, the better for us. That's who we are. We attack, and we take the first good shot. I mean, playfully, I kid them that I want to shoot it before we turn it over. But when we play free and we attack, we're at our best. And we've had difficulty playing teams that play close to the vest, and the scores are in the 50s or 60s. We'd rather have it the higher the better, and that's who we are, and we're comfortable doing it.
On the defensive end, a little man-to-man against Albertus Magnus. You did show that 2-3 zone. You talk about not being in it a long time. It was effective against Mary Washington. They didn't seem to know how to attack it. They almost seemed afraid to attack it and get inside against Mayer. Did that almost play into your hands?
Well, I don't know. I think, again, Wool had 3 fouls, and he's key to what we do. And so we went to it because of that. I wasn't planning on playing any zone because of the threat of the three-point ball. But we guarded personnel very, very well, and we allowed Michael to protect the rim when they dribble penetrated and stayed with the shooters. And, today was effective, and, I don't think they, shot normal, and some of that was our defense, and some of it was just they missed some open ones. So they're a lot better than the score indicated. They had a phenomenal year, and we have such great respect for them.
I think the interesting thing about your team is you're maybe deeper than people realize. You had 2 freshmen really step up this weekend, and Mike Greenman, and Duncan Robinson, who's really played well all year too. You've had other guys step in. You're comfortably 8 to 10 deep, and using the NCAA tournament, coaches like to shorten the bench.
Yeah, some of my former mentors think I need to shorten the rotation some, but this is the deepest team we've had. I thought we needed to keep our guards fresh today, in particular, second day, a pressing team. So we were rotating the backcourt and Michael a little bit, Mayer, but I'm not subbing the forwards too much. I mean, Epley's, returning All-American, and I think Duncan Robinson's special, and they're going to play an awful lot.
Of course, on the horizon in Salem will be the nemesis in Amherst. Yeah. You haven't beaten them this year. You haven't beaten them in 3 years. I know you don't want to look that far ahead and enjoy the moment, but we're airing this on Sunday night, so we are looking ahead. How important? Obviously, it's a big game to face Amherst. Is it key that you guys have got to take advantage of this opportunity and take advantage of how well you're playing right now?
No, we take. Listen, they've been head to head. They've had our number the last 3 years. They're awfully good. I think they have really good players and an excellent coach. It's a rich rivalry. Our focus, again, will be on us. And does it have added significance because it's our rival? Of course it does. Yeah. But we're not going to treat the game any differently. We no matter what happens in Salem, we've had an unbelievable year, but we're certainly the underdog. I don't think there will be many people that will be picking Williams, but I know our players are playing with a lot of confidence. I think we're playing our best basketball at the right time, and I want us to be loose and confident.
And when you look at the matchup, and I don't want you to give anything away, but what do you think there are things you guys can take advantage of that you just haven't been able to, at least this year? Against
Amherst?
Yeah.
We've tried everything and it hasn't worked. So I have a box, information box that people can, free with our comments. But, nothing that the coaches tried has worked. But, last game that we played them in the championship game, that was a highly competitive game. I thought we went toe-to-toe with them for 34 minutes. Yeah. And we have had a hard time stopping them, but so has everybody else, right? And, we decided to take away dribble penetration, and they made 15 threes. So it's pick your poison. Right, and the first 2 times we played them, we tried to take away threes from certain guys, and they drove it on us. So, I don't know. To be honest, I don't have any answers. I'm going to enjoy this moment right now, and then certainly think about that preparation on Monday.
As we said at the beginning, 3rd trip to Salem for the championship weekend in 5 years. 4th trip to Salem overall because you were there last year for the round of 8. How does Salem hold a significance I know it does for you, but do you think it holds a significance for this team and for the Williams community as a whole?
It certainly does. I mean, obviously we have a rich basketball tradition, a passionate fan base. I think this is the program's 8th trip to Salem since '97. Speaks volumes about our institution. The support that we have, and it's a privilege to coach there. And we have a lot of talented players, and we love getting there. I mean, it's a goal every year. That's one of our major goals, is getting there. And whether or not we win the national championship or not, I just want to play our best basketball. And if our best basketball is good enough to beat Amherst, great. If it's not, I'm really proud of our team.
Of course, the travel this time of year can be grueling. You guys have to make the trip down here 460 miles by bus. You'll bus back. I'm assuming that'll be on Sunday. But what is the travel plans from here on out, and how do you make sure the guys get rest?
Well, we need our rest. We're still in session. We go to spring break when we get to Salem. We have a long bus ride. We're going to break it up tonight. We're going to go a couple hours north and then get home on Sunday because they have to study. But we'll leave Wednesday after class and get on the plane and get down and get rested. I think this time of the year you're trying to manage your personnel and not bang them at all. We won't do very much, if any, live the rest of the week, and try to get ready for what should be an entertaining weekend.
He says a couple hours north. It might only be as far as Washington, D.C. You just never know about the traffic. How big do you think the fan support will be? I mean, sometimes it's hit or miss with the travel, especially when you have to get down to a city like Salem from western Massachusetts. Is this one of those where you have to urge the fans to do it, or you think the fans will come out in force?
Not at Williams. We have a great following, and basketball is important at our school, and we have wonderful support and a great fan base, and they'll come out There'll be plenty of purple in the building, I can assure you that.
Yeah,
with,
I think that's...
with Amherst's success, winning it all last year, and I can't tell you how much respect we have for their program, and it should be an entertaining game for the fans.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. As always, I give the guests the final word. Any final thoughts you want to share with those who may be tuning in?
No, we'd like to thank you for all the support you give to the student athletes and the exposure you give to them and the experience. And it's been a great venue here in Fredericksburg and at Mary Washington. We're looking forward to the challenge of Salem.
Very good, Mike Maker. Williams moving on once again to Salem. We'll have plenty of coverage from there coming up on D3Hoops.com and Hoopsville.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's 800 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over a decade. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're at D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Every season starts with hope and a dream to play for the ultimate title, to become NCAA national champions. And you can experience it live at the 2014 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 21st and 22nd in Salem, Virginia, hosted by the Old Dominion Athletic Conference and the City of Salem. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/tickets today and make a date with champions.
College basketball lives in Kansas City at the College Basketball Experience at Sprint Center. The College Basketball Experience is the place to get your game on. It's not a museum, it's an experience you won't forget. Discover the history of the game in the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame, featuring the Gallery of Honor, Mentor's Circle, and Honor Theater. Suit up in the latest CBE logoed Nike gear at the CBE Hoop Shop. Elevate your game today and visit the house that college basketball built.
I'm Dave McHugh for D3Hoops.com and Hoopsville. I'm joined by Mike Mayer, very tall center for Williams. And first and foremost, you guys played some really good basketball, shot really well here at Fredericksburg to get past Albertus Magnus and Mary Washington. Is this maybe the best basketball you guys have played this season?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we're peaking at the right time. We're really sharing the ball and looking for our teammates, which is getting a lot of open shots. So it's been really good. You
guys had 2 different games against Albertus Magnus and Mary Washington, a high-scoring affair that you guys were kind of in control of on Friday night, and then a game that you guys were dominating against Mary Washington. Is this how you guys expected the games to play out?
No, not at all. Both teams are really talented, and they're really good. And we just came in and wanted to play hard and play defense. And luckily, we got Mary Washington on an off night because they're really talented, can shoot really well, and they didn't hit a lot of threes. So it was a little odd for us. They're really good, so it was good.
You had an interesting advantage where you were the tallest guy on the court. Nobody else could seem to step up in that height department. Was that something you could take advantage of, or was it something that it threw a curveball because you didn't know where maybe the help defense was coming from?
Yeah, well, when we play smaller teams, there's a lot more help defense, especially they fight around and make it really hard to catch on spot. And it's also annoying because they're all a lot quicker than me, so it's tough to dribble by them and stuff. So yeah, but I think we used my height to our advantage the best we could, and just glad we got 2 wins.
What's it like to be a player on a team that seems as deep as you guys are, at least 8-10 deep in good talent, that when you can go to the bench, you know somebody talented is coming in behind you, or you know that no matter the subs. What's that like for you as a player when you're confident in who's coming in?
Yeah, it's really reassuring. I know if I'm aggressive early and get in foul trouble, that my backup, Brian Cullen, is really phenomenal, and even Darius Syme behind him is really good. And it's a really good feeling. You can be aggressive during the game. Don't have to worry as much about foul trouble. And then it's great when we play teams that push the ball a lot. We can play a lot more people and not have a drop-off at all. So it's really reassuring for everyone, I think, to have that much depth.
Usually a team who has a player of your abilities, especially in the inside with the size, has a scenario where it's just pound the ball into that guy. He's going to make it work. You don't worry about the outside game. You guys have a great inside-outside game. Is that almost a release valve for you where you know you don't have to do everything?
Yeah, well, my teammates are really, really good, and so I don't feel any pressure really. because I know if I'm having an off game, we'll have 2 or 3 other people step up, and everyone can definitely shoot, so that helps me out a lot.
You guys are on to Salem yet again for the program, 4th time in 5 years. In Salem, obviously, the round of 8 last year. 3rd trip to championship weekend. Does it get old?
No, it doesn't get old. It's as fun as the last 2 times I've been, and I think it's especially special because it's my senior year and it's with my class, and we played 4 years together. I love playing with them, and it's a really, really good feeling.
Getting used to that charter flight to Salem too, right?
I don't know about that, but
of course, you're going to run into Amherst. You guys know this team well. You've lost to them 3 times this year. You've lost to them every time, again, in the last 3 years. I know that starts to become a challenge. How do you guys kind of forget all that and reset and just take it on as a game?
Yeah, I think we're playing our best basketball right now, and we're just really excited to play them. It's always really fun playing them, and they're really good. So we have to play our best to beat them.
As well as you guys shot, is it going to be sad to leave this gym?
No, we're moving to Salem. I don't think it's going to be sad.
I figured as well. He's Mike Mayer. Congratulations once again on winning. And we'll cover Williams and the rest there in Salem on D3Hoops.com and Hoopsville.